Drugged by her own mother, Wendy stumbled back to Stanley's villa and begged him not to leave. Just as his restraint broke, Jessica called, swallowed an aphrodisiac on video, and forced him to choose, her or Wendy. Stanley changed clothes, looked at his wife, and asked, "What's your type?" "Mr. Hawk, see you at Cloud Hotel tonight. I want to celebrate your birthday." Wendy headed to Cloud Hotel. She saw her parents at the entrance. "Dad, Mom, what are you doing here?" Harry said. "Wendy, your sister's back. We brought her here." Through the window, Wendy spotted Jessica wearing the exact same blue and white skirt from the photo. The college student was her own sister. Wendy turned to her parents. "So I'm the last to know." Harry said, "Wendy, Mr. Hawk doesn't even like you." Lillian chimed in, "Better to let Jessica have him than some other woman." Harry added, 3 years ago, when Stanley and Jessica were Hovendal's golden couple, everyone thought they'd get married. But then Stanley got into a car accident and went into a coma. That's the only reason we had you marry him instead." Lillian said, "She's a white swan, and you're just an ugly duckling. Just give Mr. Hawk back to her already." Back at the villa, Stanley came home. Wendy said, "It's your birthday." Stanley remained indifferent. "Don't waste your time on this." Wendy said, "Stanley, let's get a divorce." Stanley turned around. "You're asking for a divorce just because I didn't celebrate my birthday with you. Jessica has returned, hasn't she?" Stanley sneered. "Everyone in Hovendale knows Jessica was the one I intended to marry. Weren't you aware when you schemed to replace her?" Stanley trapped her against the wall. "Are you asking for a divorce because you're desperate for a man?" Slap. Wendy slapped him. "I know you've never stopped thinking about Jessica. Fine, I'll return Mrs. Hawk's title to her." Stanley's face darkened. "Wendy, you married me when it was convenient, and now you want a divorce just because you feel like it. What do you take me for?" Wendy said, "A plaything. I'm done playing, so I'm tossing you aside." Stanley said, "Fine. Let's divorce, but don't come crying back." The next morning, Stanley received the divorce agreement. The reason, due to my husband's sexual dysfunction. Stanley grabbed his phone. "Wendy, get back here immediately." Wendy chuckled. "We're divorced, Stanley. You're not potent anymore. I wish you an early recovery of your manhood." That evening at 1996 bar, Stanley sat with Benny. Benny laughed. "Stanley, are you serious? Wendy wants a divorce. Let's bet how long before she begs you to take her back." Stanley checked his phone. No messages from Wendy. Ding. Transaction notifications popped. 800 at Nail, 2000 at Hair, 86,000 at Chanel, 240,000 at Louis Vuitton. No reconciliation. Stanley slammed his phone down. Suddenly, a commotion, an angel walked in. It was Wendy without glasses, stunning. Benny nudged Stanley. "Look." Stanley glanced over and paused. Wendy then hired 8 male hosts. Stanley's phone buzzed, $500,000 for 8 male hosts. Stanley stood up and strode over. He grabbed Wendy's wrist and flung her against the wall. "Wendy, do you think I'm dead playing around like this?" Wendy said, "What did I do?" Stanley said, "Who told you to dress like this? Your thighs are almost exposed." Wendy raised her leg, brushing his ankle. "Mr. Hawk, which do you prefer? My legs or Jessica's?" Stanley's breath hitched. "Wendy, are you really this shameless? You hired 8 male hosts to satisfy your needs." Wendy smiled. "Well, your body isn't up to par, so of course I have to go out and find men. If the first man doesn't work, the next will be better." Stanley grabbed her chin. "Dream on. I won't touch you. The one I love is Jessica." Just then, Jessica arrived. Stanley released Wendy and walked to Jessica. Benny said, "Jessica, this is your sister, Wendy." Jessica sneered. "Wendy, I heard you're getting a divorce. Can't you live without a man?" "If I were you, I'd get a job." Benny said, "What's Wendy's education?" Jessica said, "Wendy dropped out of school at 16. Benny sneered, "What a coincidence." Stanley also stopped studying at 16, but he earned dual master's degrees from Harfield. "And you? Dropped out with nothing." Wendy smiled gracefully and said, "Yes, what a coincidence." Later, outside the bar, Dave Suarez from Harfield told Stanley, "You have a junior alumna who earned dual master's degrees at 16. She's a high IQ prodigy." Benny asked, "Who's better?" Dave said, "They're evenly matched." Stanley added the profile named W. The request was pending. The next day, at the naturopathy center, Wendy saw Stanley carrying Jessica. Harry and Lillian fussed over Jessica. Stanley noticed Wendy. "Wendy, are you following me?" Harry yelled, "Wendy, how could you cause trouble at a time like this?" Lillian said, "Leave immediately." Stanley grabbed her arm. "Wendy, stop stalking me. Leave." Wendy yanked away. "Fine, I'll leave." She pulled out a card, traditional naturopath, specializing in premature ejaculation. She slipped it into his pocket. "Jessica has a problem. Mr. Hawk, don't you as well? You both should get checked out." She walked away. Later, Lillian followed Wendy outside and handed her a check for $20,000. "Wendy, divorce him and take this money to start fresh in the countryside." Wendy smiled faintly. "So, being Mrs. Hawk is only worth this much to you? Or is that all I'm worth in your eyes?" Lillian said, "Wendy, I'm your mother." Wendy laughed. "You already sent me to the countryside once, and now you want to do it again. You really are a great mother." She left in a taxi. At the Crone Villa, Lillian drugged Wendy's wine. Ted Whalen appeared. Lillian said, "Wendy, sleep with Dr. Whalen, and Jessica will be saved." Ted lunged at Wendy. The moment Lillian left, Ted collapsed from drug. But Wendy was burning. She rushed back to the villa, searched for needles but couldn't find them. Footsteps echoed. The door opened. A searing body flung itself into Stanley's arms. Stanley caught her. "Wendy, what are you doing back here?" "Stanley, help me. I've been drugged." Stanley called Benny. "What do I do when a woman is drugged?" Benny laughed. "If Jessica's in trouble, step in and save the day. Otherwise, cold shower." Stanley turned to Wendy. "Can you manage a cold shower?" Wendy went to the bathroom. A cry came. Stanley strode in. "I hit my head." Stanley turned on the shower. Ice-cold water drenched Wendy. She gasped, throwing herself against him. "It's too cold. I can't." She fidgeted, her hands brushing his waist. Six-pack abs. So handsome too. Stanley pushed her against the wall. "Behave yourself." Wendy smiled. "Wow, so strong. I like it." Stanley grabbed the shower head. Wendy protested, "Stanley, if Jessica were the one drugged, would you have helped her? Because it's me, you're making me take a cold shower. None of you like me." Suddenly, Wendy bit his Adam's apple. Stanley wrapped his arm around her waist. He grabbed her face. "Do you love biting things?" Wendy kissed his throat, leaving red marks. "Have you and Jessica done it before?" She stood on tiptoe. "Stanley, I'm still your wife. Won't you help me?" Stanley's hand gripped her waist. Their lips about to meet. A ringtone interrupted. Stanley pulled out his phone. "Jessica Crone." He answered. "Jessica." Jessica said, "Stanley, I'm at a bar. Come join me." Stanley turned to leave. Wendy grabbed his sleeve. "Don't go, I'm begging you." Jessica's voice, "Stanley, are you listening? Come here now." Wendy called out, "Big brother." Stanley's expression changed. "Jessica, something urgent has come up. I can't make it." He ended the call. "Who told you to call me, Big brother?" "Wendy, who exactly are you?" Wendy kissed him. He kissed her back. At the bar, Jessica called Benny. "Benny, are you with Stanley tonight?" Benny replied, "No, but Stanley did call me." It sounded like some woman had been drugged. "Jessica, could Wendy be the one?" Jessica clenched her fists. Then she smiled and told her assistant, "Get me some drugs." "What kind?" "Aphrodisiac." In the bathroom, a video call came from Jessica. Stanley answered. Jessica was at the bar. "Stanley, is Wendy with you? Did she get drugged?" Stanley didn't respond. Jessica poured powder into her drink and downed it. Stanley frowned. "Jessica, what did you just drink?" "Aphrodisiac." A handsome man approached Jessica. "Hi, beautiful. Can I buy you a drink?" Jessica pointed at her phone. "This is my boyfriend, but if he doesn't get here in 30 minutes, I'm all yours tonight." Stanley's voice turned icy. "Jessica, what are you doing?" Jessica's tone was domineering. "Stanley, tonight you can only choose one, me or Wendy." She ended the call. Stanley stepped away, changing out of his damp clothes. He returned, his dark gaze landing on her. "What's your type?" Wendy was confused. Stanley continued, I'll find you a man, or two, if you'd prefer.